Hello all. So our topic for today is waveform generator, and this is the circuit diagram we will be following for waveform generation. Now the first op-amp, first thing I want to make clear is I haven't drawn the plus VCC and minus VCC, but each of them has a positive VCC at pin number 7 and a negative VCC at pin number 4. So it will follow for the other two also. This positive and negative VCC could be plus minus 12 volt or 15 volt. That's your choice. So this op-amp 741 in the first scenario is connected as a Schmitt trigger. Now what does a Schmitt trigger do basically? So Schmitt trigger works on the basis of hysteresis. That is, it will give you voltages directly from either positive VSAT or it will give you a negative VSAT, nothing in between. So you get a positive VSAT or negative VSAT as output of first one, because this is working as Schmitt trigger, depending on what are the input voltages here. So now you can see the inverting edge is connected to ground. The non-inverting edge or the non-inverting terminal gets its input. Let's say the input is V plus, since it's non-inverting, from two places. The first one being the feedback from its own output. So let's say this is V1, the voltage here is V1 because of the first output, and the second one it gets as a feedback voltage from the second op-amp. So if you can see, the second op-amp goes here via this resistance R2 and comes here to non-inverting terminal. So the summation of these two gives you the input in the op-amp number 1. So depending on what is V plus or the voltage here, you will either get positive VSAT when this is greater than 0, and in case this voltage V plus goes below the 0, so the output will be negative VSAT. So basically the waveform will look something like this. So I either have a positive VSAT or a negative VSAT. Nothing in between. So this is plus VSAT and this is minus VSAT. I have connected a back-to-back Zener here because the difference in positive and negative VSAT is very large. There will be a sudden jump of about 20 volts, even if you keep it at plus minus 12. So still it will be a plus difference of 24 volts to come from positive to negative. So to limit that voltage, we'll consider a Zener back-to-back. So what happens, suppose this Zener value is 5.1. So instead of going from plus minus 12 to minus 12, now I will go from plus VZ to minus VZ. So this jump will now reduce to just 10.2. So the main reason of using a back-to-back Zener is to prevent this jump from such a huge difference. Now moving on to the second one. This is nothing but an integrator circuit. This circuitry here is an integrator. Now as you can see, you are getting constant values. This is either plus VSAT or minus VSAT, which is a constant. What do you get when you integrate a constant? You get a linear value. So if the constant is K, integration of K gives you Kx. And that is why after passing through this integrator, the square wave gets converted to linear, which is triangular waves. So the output of this second op-amp is a triangular wave. After this triangular wave is passed through a low pass filter, which will give me nothing but a sine wave or a cosine wave, depending on where you start from. Now coming back to this point. So this R is variable. What happens when you change this? So because it is the input voltage from V2 which is going to V plus, the change in value of R will change V2 and hence in totality will change V plus. So this value change will only change one thing, which is V2, which will in totality change my V plus. So this is the beta factor it will change your beta factor, which is nothing but R2 upon R1. In this case actually R3 plus R2. So that's with the theory. Let's move to the experimental setup. Okay, so as you can see, this is the experimental setup. We've connected the 3741s with all the resistors and capacitors as shown in the diagram before. I have connected this to the positive VCC, negative VCC and ground given here with the help of wires, and we have a CRO here where we'll check our waveforms. I'm using only one channel right now, and the ground is connected to the ground of the power supply, and this is where we'll check our output. So first thing I want to check is if I'm getting a square wave on the first IC, which was my Schmitt trigger. So let's put power on. I'll connect this here on pin number 6, and I will just remove this from ground state. So as you can see, this is a square wave. You may increase the time period, decrease the time period, and then you can use hold off and level to stop this. What you need to measure here is your V output, which is peak to peak voltage, and the time period. After we've checked, and you will also have to draw this waveform. Once you're done with that, take this to the output of the second IC, wherein we should get triangular wave. So as you can see, I can get the triangle wave here. Now since this is very small, I can change the volts per division using this. Again, you'll measure your V output peak to peak and the time period. The time period should be the same because we've not changed the frequency anywhere. Only difference what we'll get is in the V output peak to peak. And the third IC will now give me my sine wave because it's passing through a low pass filter. So this is a sine wave. Draw the 3 diagrams, measure in each case V output peak to peak and your time period. That's all for this experiment. Thank you.